This week I celebrated my 33rd birthday, and I'm someone that hasn't necessarily enjoyed celebrating my birthday, particularly the last few years since hitting my 30s. And that's largely because I have this feeling of I should have done more or should be doing more with my life and be further ahead. Yet I know that that isn't necessarily a fair assessment towards myself because I have actually done quite a bit of stuff over my current 33 years of life. And I really wanted to take a different approach to my birthday this year. I wanted to sit and reflect and write down 33 life lessons that I've learned over the last 33 years. And it's been a really impactful process for me doing so, sitting and reflecting and actually going deep within myself to realize I have actually done quite a bit of stuff. And with that being said, I feel that this has been my most enjoyable birthday that I've had. And that's not to say that the most extravagant things happened on the day. It was more, I was present. I was content within myself because of the approach that I had. I allowed myself the space and the grace to just be present and be thankful and grateful for the life that I've lived. And I wanted to share my top three lessons with you today that I've learnt over my many years. And while these are personal to me and have relevance to me, I'm sure that some may resonate with you. And if they do, please let me know. I'd be interested to hear your own life lessons that you've learnt over your life experience as well. And for anyone that does want to read the full list of 33, I will have that on my Substack once it's finished, which I'll leave a link in the description. So without further ado, let's begin. Lesson number one. As if I forgot it straight away, it's the most important one. Lesson one, anything is possible when you put your mind to it. And that may seem very basic and cliche, yet it's the thing that I've been told my whole entire life from my dad, which is why it has the most importance to me, because for as long as I can remember since I was a little kid, it's the thing he's always told me to do, to go after the thing that I really want and want to set my mind towards something. And I can take this down a path of story and evolution. Yet as I sit here today, that saying and that life lesson to me means commitment and agency. Yet when I was far younger, you don't have the language or the knowledge to kind of express yourself and as the reasons why you do something. So as a 3-year-old, so at the age of 3, I learned how to ride a bike without training wheels. And the reason I did it was because there was a kid in my kindergarten class that could ride a bike without training wheels. And I wanted to learn how to do it. So I wanted to put my mind towards it and achieve something. And at the age of 3, all you can kind of take in and perceive is I see something, I want it, I'm going to do it. I got on the bike, the training wheels are off, I fell over. I got back up, rinse and repeat. And I kept repeating this process until I eventually learned how to ride a bike without training wheels. Fast forward that a few years, when I was playing soccer, I was a kid and his older brother that were very good at juggling a soccer ball. I was about 8 years old at the time. And again, same process is applied. I wanted to get better at juggling a soccer ball. So I remember being out in the backyard at my nonna's house, juggling between left foot, right foot. I get to 6, I drop the ball, I pick it up, I go again, and I go again, and I go again. And while at those younger ages, you can't contextualize or explain the reasonings behind it, it's very simple as I see something, I want it, I go do. Whereas now, as I sit here at 33 years of age, I can see the lessons within that it's about the agency and the commitment and the persistency to push through something and work towards a goal that you're truly passionate about and really want to strive, that you can choose to do what you want to do with your life and you can achieve the things that you set your mind to. Moving forward a little bit more, when I eventually found the sport of cycling at the age of 13, that was the thing that I was then directing my time and attention towards. And it's the thing I have done for the last 20 years, which is why I'm sat here in front of you. And when it was 2024, when Kane and I got the phone call that we're going to Paris, I remember Shane saying to me after in a quiet moment when we were celebrating with the team at lunch, he said to me, "Well done, your persistency paid off." And my response to him was, "I'm not persistent, I'm stubborn." And the reason I say that is because I can now reflect on the story I gave of my younger self and all those other instances I can think of where I just put my mind to something and I will relentlessly go towards it and go after it until I've achieved, either have achieved it or I haven't achieved it. Whereas giving myself the space to then go, it's okay if you don't achieve the goal. However, I would rather give it my all and not work out than give in and wonder what if. So that's just learning to reframe that goal and that life lesson to give myself a bit more grace and space to say, I have the capacity to work. I have the capacity to do the thing that I want to do, yet it's okay in the end if it doesn't work out. Whereas I think that lesson of anything's possible when you put your mind to it, it's a very blunt stop. And as a young child, you can't think of not doing the thing. Whereas as you get older, you then start to realize, okay, how can I change and evolve this to suit me and my needs? And that's where I've shifted that life lesson, that it still very much has a lot of meaning and value to me and holds a lot of truth. I've just learned to give myself the grace to be able to say, it's okay if it doesn't work out, yet the person I have become in the process of pursuing the difficult thing is what I'm grateful for. Those are the lessons that I will then be able to take forward and carry throughout the rest of my life. Those are also the lessons that I will be able to pass on to the next generations, and the thing that holds the most resonance with me. And that's why it's my number one lesson. It's the thing that I'm most grateful for. So all I have to say is thank you, Dad. That's on you. Moving on, lesson number 2. Now, lesson number 2 is also very important. It is also very family orientated and tied to family. And the quote is, life is not, sorry, I'll repeat that again. The quote is, life is not about how impressive your bank account is, rather how impressive is your photo album. There's a few things within that I will break down and I want to break down. Yet before I give the story of why that has significance and importance to me, this isn't about money. It's about experience, and chasing a goal can also coexist with ambition. And that's learning to separate the two, that the ambitious part is more the money and the chasing and pursuing of a goal, yet the experience and memories is the photo album part. So just keep that in mind when I share this story with you. So this quote was one from my uncle, and he said this in 2013-ish. His father-in-law had passed away, and the whole entire family was sat out in his backyard, and my uncle was just, I guess, reflecting at the time and looked at the house that he'd left behind and said something along the lines of, we come into this world with nothing, we leave with nothing. And then was just looking at this beautiful house that he no longer was able to live in and exist because he had passed. And then my uncle said the quote, life is not about how impressive your bank account is, rather how impressive is your photo album. And that may have just been a passing comment from him, had no significance whatsoever. But for me at the time, when he said that, it really just struck a chord with me and stayed with me for the rest of my years currently to where I am now. And fast forward a few years, 2017, my own grandfather passed away. And it was the first time I'd experienced a close loss within my family. And, growing up with Italian heritage and Italian culture, family is very, very important. He passed away in September. And then in October of the same year, we had the 1-month mass for his passing, and the whole entire family went to church. That's my dad, my uncles, my cousins, then my dad's cousins, my dad's aunties and uncles, and my second cousin. So in all, there's 40 people that have gone to the church. We've all then gone back to my nonna's house, and we're eating pizza, and we're all sat around the living area watching the TV, and we're watching random old footage that my dad and his uncles took of them and my nonna when they went to Italy for his 70th birthday, before he then got diagnosed with dementia and then inevitably passed away several years later. And I remember sitting at my nonna's house and having this experience and remembering that quote, that life is about how impressive your photo album is. And that again, it struck a chord with me when I heard it the first time, and then actually living it and experiencing in that moment, just seeing how precious those videos are, those random clips and photos that we capture amongst the years. And I guarantee you there are many, many, many random clips inside of your phone that hold a lot of weight and specialness to you. And I think that's where this quote kind of really resonates for me, is that I experienced that. And then it was 2 weeks after I purchased my camera and I started my YouTube channel as a way for me to actually action myself, to say, I want to document my life. I want to capture my memories, my stories, and be able to share them mainly with myself and to reflect on. This is just the avenue that I chose to do so. However, I think it's important that we all take a moment to stop and appreciate where we are in current point in time and really reflect and use our cameras and our phones as tools to capture memories. And that's the most important thing, that whilst I'm on this life's journey, pursuing my sporting career, really ambitious goals, working towards things, that can also coexist with having fun memories and remembering the good stuff, because where we are right now in this current point in time are the golden years. These are the special moments. These are the moments that towards the end of my life, I will be able to look back on and say, how great was that? So then within that, the small struggles that you have don't really matter, because later on, you're not even going to remember them. All you're going to remember is the good times. So then I use that quote and that life lessons to think, what is truly important to me? What is truly special? And for me, it's accruing memories and making memories with friends, family, going on the holidays, doing the things that excite you. That's what that lesson is about, is be ambitious, pursue something, be present, and enjoy everything in the moment. I think it's really special, and for me, that's been one of my biggest takeaways. And last but not least, lesson number 3: train your body, train your mind. 2 parts to this. One is the physical, one is also the mental. I will discuss both. I'll begin with the physical side, which is train your body. As someone who's been very much athletic my whole entire life, my mum taught me how to get out of the cot at, I think, 2 years of age, because I would be up as soon as the sun was up at the crack of dawn, out in the backyard playing. It's just what I've done. It's who I am as a person. Hence why I wanted to pursue sport, get into sport, chase those goals and dreams of representing the country at the highest level in the sport that I eventually found and loved, which was track cycling. It's just who I am, and I can't not think of a life where I don't do a sport or activity. Once I retire, I will still be active. I will still be doing things, because I see the value in what it means to be able to move your body and how privileged it is to be able to do so. And those are the things that I will carry on for the rest of my life. So that's one part of the train your body. Yet the thing that is probably more important within that, and this has 2 parts, is the train your mind aspect. And what it means is, I'll give you a story. So the train your mind part is, I remember an athlete I used to train with at an old gym. They were the best in their field, in their specific discipline, physically, national champion, all those kinds of things, one of the best in the world, and they went to the biggest sporting competition of their life. Their work ethic would outmatch, it would not be compared to anyone's. Yet at the biggest event of their life, they crumbled. It was under pressure. Their mind couldn't comprehend what they were doing. And that was the biggest takeaway for me at the moment, was, doesn't matter how physically prepared you are, if your mind is not in the right space, you will not be able to achieve the thing that you want to do. So that was the first lesson. Then the next part of that was when I saw them again and I asked them, they dismissed it and said, no, it's fine, it'll be all right. And they just blew it off. 4 years later, the same thing happened again. They repeated the same cycle. And that was, for me, the ticker to be like, the mind is everything, mind over matter. And that's the most important aspect of that, is just being aware of yourself, training your mind, going deep within, utilizing sports psychology or psychology in general to understand oneself, so that you can move through the world in a far better place. And why that is important is because, as an athlete, if I'm physically prepared but my mind lets me down, that's the biggest thing, which is why I've said things in the past like, one day you'll fast. That's more of a mindset shift to say that I will be fast on race day. As long as I've done the work, it will show up on race day. And seeing that was the catalyst for me to go, okay, this is actually really, really important, which I have since now been able to really appreciate, just understanding myself, because, like I said, I've been able to do so, which is why I've been able to have a wonderful birthday this year, is because I am going within and understanding my own lived experience and understanding that, I didn't show up as my best self the last few years, and the reasons why, because of the things I was focusing on. So, okay, I want to take a different approach to that this year, which I've done by writing this out. And seeing the value in that, I can say, has truly changed my life. I'm on a trajectory that I really enjoy. I'm becoming a person that I really enjoy, because there were years where I was angry. I was frustrated and I didn't know how to express myself or how to communicate my emotions or how I was feeling. Yet working with someone to work through that, I have now become a better person for it. And that's the reason why it's one of my life lessons, is because I can't understate the importance of understanding oneself to move through life better with grace. And those are the things that are most important to me. Those are some of my 3 life lessons that I find a lot of value in. And I hope you guys will be able to take something away from these, understand some of the stories and the lessons. I know it was quite quick and I rattled a lot of stuff off very fast. However, I know there are lessons to be taught. And like I said, if you want to read the full 33, there'll be a link in the description of my Substack. And I would love to hear your life lessons. So please leave them in the comments below. Happy birthday to me, and I'll see you in the next episode.